Guys, please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice and screen. Those who are attending in online. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice and screen. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice and screen. Those who are attending in online. All right, sir. All right, sir. Now understand it. In the last session, what content here we have discussed it there. So just have given a basic overview of database management systems, and all the related content I have given there. Now try to understand this content. No, okay, right, sir. So now observe carefully. In an enterprise application, it's a convention to manage the organization's data, like employee details, customers details, products details, services details, and so on. To manage these data, we have to use storage areas. There we have to use what there? Storage areas. Right, sir. In the enterprise applications, there are two types of storage areas. No, what are the two types of storage areas? Temporary storage areas, then permanent storage areas. See this one. In a temporary storage areas and permanent storage areas, if you observe these, temporary storage areas are able to store data temporarily, but in permanent storage areas, data will be stored permanently. All right, buffers and Java objects are the examples for temporary storage areas. And databases, database management system, file system, data warehouses are the permanent storage areas. File systems are available. Then what is the requirement to go for database management systems? File systems are platform dependent, not suitable for platform independent technologies. Next one is file system is able to store less data. File systems is able to provide like what there lesser security. It is able to increase data redundancy, that means data duplication. No query languages support to perform database operations. To overcome these problems, here we have to go with what their database management systems. In a database management systems, here it is not a platform dependent. It will be useful for any type of programming language, any type of technology. Next one is it is able to store more data when compared with the file systems. It is able to provide more security when compared with the file systems, and it is able to reduce data redundancy, and it is able to improve code reusability, data reusability, and there is a query language support to perform database operations in an effective manner. Observe carefully. After completion of this, we have already database management systems. Then what is the requirement to go for data warehouses? If you observe the point, answer is very clear. Understand this clearly. Understand this clearly after completion of this. Right, sir. When compared with the data warehouses, database management systems are able to store lesser data. Database management systems are able to store lesser data. Right, database management systems are very good while inserting the data, while updating the data. But database management systems are not good while retrieving the data. No fast retrieval mechanisms. But to store more data and to have fast retrieval mechanisms, there we have to go with what their data warehouses. Then immediately we have asked one important interview question there. What exactly the differences between database and a database management systems? What is this database and what is the meaning of database management system? If you observe this, database is a memory block to store data. Database management system is a software system. By using it, we can store the data or we can retrieve the data. It can be used to manage the data by storing it onto the database, by retrieving it from database. Next one, after that, database is the collection of interrelated data. But database management system is a collection of interrelated data and a set of programs to access the data. Three types of database management systems are available, but of course more types are available. but mainly I have taken three types. No, first one is the relational database management system. It is able to store data in the form of tables, and to perform the database operations here we are using SQL2 as a query language. Next one is object-oriented database management system. It is able to manage the data in the form of objects by following object-oriented features. But where to represent or to perform database operations, there we have to use what there? There we have to use a separate query language that would be OQL, object query language. Next one is object relational database management system. Object relational database management system is able to represent data in the form of objects and in the form of like what are tables. Answer my point here. Where we need a query language to perform the database operations, that query language is what there? SQL3. That SQL3 is what there? SQL2 plus OQL. Both the capabilities, both the features are available. That is called as what there? SQL3. That's it. So this is what exactly the content here we understood there in the last session. Got it or not? Right, sir. Now, next one is what next one here? Query processing system. Observe carefully. This is required even in the future. In the future, I'm going to talk about statement and prepared statement. There definitely we required this content. Understand it clearly, all of you know. Query processing system. What exactly the meaning of query processing system? All right, sir. If we submit an SQL query to database, if we submit an SQL query to the database, where at the database, an engine called database engine, an engine called database engine will take the provided SQL query and it will execute the provided SQL query by using the following phases, by using the following actions. Observe carefully what exactly the point I have given there. If you submit an SQL query to the database, where at the database an engine called database engine will take the provided SQL query and it will execute the provided SQL query by using the following actions. Sir, got it or not? A database says an engine is available to execute our queries. See, who is executing Java programs? No, JVM. Who is executing Python programs? No, PVM, Python Virtual Machine. Similarly, in the same way, to execute SQL queries at the databases, at all the databases, an engine is available. That engine is what their database engine. Sir, all of you are getting it or not? An engine is available. That engine is what their database engine. Clear? Right, sir. Now observe carefully. All of you know. What exactly the process here we are going to understand. Let me prepare a diagram here, small diagram. No? Try to recognize this diagram. Say for example, this is database. Right, sir. Now here, this is the database. Now, inside this database, we can understand a table, EMP1 table. Inside this EMP1 table, we have some columns, ENO, ENAME, ESAL, EADDR. These columns here we are going to have. Almost all throughout my JDBC applications, I'm going to use this table. Throughout my JDBC applications, I'm going to use this particular table. Right, sir. Observe carefully. Now, whenever it is a database now, there we have an engine to perform, to execute our queries. Now, this mission is what their database engine, or simply speaking, database server, both are same. Database engine, database server. Okay, now, first of all, let me have some data here. 111 AAA, like 5000 and Hyderabad. 222 BBB, some 6000 and something else like what the Hyderabad. Some data, namesake, I'm taking some data here. Made 1000. Now finally here we have data like this, Hyderabad. Alright, sir, it's okay, fine. Table is available with the data. Database engine is available. Now this database engine will connect with the database through username and password. Through username and password. Whenever we open SQL prompt, there, whenever we open that SQL prompt, there it is asking username and password. Of course, in my systems, that username and password is system and Durga. System is username and Durga is what their password for Oracle database. I'm telling there now. Right, it's okay, fine. Here, for example, here we are having SQL prompt. SQL prompt. What is this SQL prompt now? There we are going to write our SQL queries. There we are able to write what there some SQL queries. What SQL query here we have to write there? My requirement is what there? Select a star from EMP1 semicolon. This is my SQL query. I have written it. When I click on enter button, automatically this query will be submitted to the database. At a database engine will take this query. Database engine will take this query. Database engine will perform some operations. Database engine will perform what there? Some operations to execute this query. What operations it is able to perform there? Observe carefully. The very first one, query tokenization. That's it. The first one is like what there? Query tokenization. After this, next one is what there? Query parsing. Query parsing. Query optimization. Query optimization. Query execution. Overall, these are the various steps here we are having. That's it. First one is like what there? Query tokenization. Next one is query parsing. Next one is what there? Query optimization. Then query execution. This overall 4 steps here we are performing clearly. One after another, that phases are going to be executed. Observe carefully. What exactly the purpose of each and every phase? What is the responsibility of each and every phase? We are going to understand it clearly. See this, all of you know. What is the meaning of query tokenization? What exactly it able to perform now? Query tokenization phase will take the provided SQL query. Then it will divide the total SQL query into number of pieces, where each and every piece is called as a token. Say for example, here select a star from EMP1 semicolon is available. Select is one piece, star is another piece, from is another piece, EMP1 is another one, comma, semicolon is another one. This is what exactly the work of like what there? Tokenization, query tokenization. All right, sir. And finally, what we are getting there, all these tokens are stream of tokens or not? Multiple tokens or not? So after performing this tokenization, query tokenization is able to provide a stream of tokens as an output from query tokenization phase. A stream of tokens from query tokenization phase. Sir, clear or not? All of you are getting it or not? That's okay, fine. This is one point. Next one is after this, after completion of this, what is the job of this query parsing phase now? Understand clearly. Query parsing phase, main requirement, main thing is what there, it able to check whether the provided SQL queries are having any error or not. Just like our checking compilation errors. Compilation error, how compiler is checking that errors. No? Similarly, query parsing phase is able to check the errors in our provided SQL query. But how it able to check that errors in our SQL queries? No, by creating a tree representation. By creating a tree representation, the tree representation is called as query tree. The tree representation is called as what there? Query tree. Right, sir? Now observe carefully. By having query tree, by having this queries now, this is query tree. By providing this query tree, a tree representation will be created. This tree is called as what there? Query tree. Right, sir? Now this tree is what as what there? Query tree. If this query tree is a successful, if this query tree is a successful, then there are no syntax errors in the provided query. If this query tree is successful, if it is created successfully, where we are going to take all the leaf nodes, no, there we are able to get the query. That means if the query tree is successful, no syntax, no compilation errors in our provided SQL query. In the case, if this query tree is not created successfully, so some rules and regulations are available to prepare that query tree. As per the rules and regulations, that query tree is going to be prepared. If that query tree is not prepared successfully, then definitely there is a mistake in our provided SQL query. But what rules and regulations are available to prepare this query tree? All the things are not required immediately for us. Up to that level is not required. Just we have to understand query parsing phase is able to check the provided SQL queries whether they are right or wrong. That means that queries are having any mistakes or not. That we are going to check just by creating query tree. So just by creating what there? Query tree. Finally, query tree will be provided as an output from query parsing phase. Query tree will be provided as an output from what there? Query parsing phase. Is it? Or if you're getting it or not? Try to understand this point clearly. Next one is after this, after completion of this query tree like this, no? What is the job of this next phase? Query optimization phase, no? What exactly the job of the query optimization phase? What is the meaning of it, no? Right, observe carefully. As it is, if we execute this query tree, at present, whatever the query tree is available, if we execute that, it will take a lot of memory and a lot of execution time. Performance of the database operation will be reduced. So, query optimization phase will apply number of optimization techniques over the query tree in order to reduce the query tree, in order to optimize execution time and memory utilization. So the query optimization phase is able to apply number of optimization mechanisms, number of optimization query optimization algorithms over the query tree in order to reduce execution time and memory utilization. And finally, what happened there? Optimized query tree will be created. Finally, what it has created there? No, optimized query tree it has created. This example I'm telling that this is like what there optimized query tree. Now, this optimized query tree is an output from query optimization phase. optimized query tree is from what there query optimization phase, is an output from query optimization phase. Everybody understand this point clearly now? Okay, fine. Then what next one here? Last step is what there query execution phase. This query execution phase has internally some SQL engine or maybe any engine. Simply speaking, interpreter. Inside this query execution phase, an interpreter is available. Of course, that see this entire thing, this database engine, we can call it as what there SQL engine also. SQL engine, database server, or maybe any name. Database server contains all this. So that simply we used to say what their database engine. The database engine contains what their SQL engine to execute our SQL queries now. But anyway, inside this query execution phase, an interpreter is available. What is available there? An interpreter. That interpreter will execute our optimized query tree. That means fetching the data or inserting the data, updating the data. That could be done at query execution phase now. Then that could be done finally by performing the operation. What operation you know? What is our SQL query here? Select star from EMP1. So it able to perform what operation there? No, fetch operation, fetching the data from database table. Then by performing that execution part here, finally data will be retrieved from the database. No, whatever the data which is retrieved from database, no, the total data, whatever the data is retrieved from database table, no, the total data will be submitted back to the SQL prompt from where that request is coming to execute our SQL query. Which client has submitted that provided SQL query to execute our content here to that respective location, the provided, that means that fetch data will be submitted to the respective client. Now this is acting as client for this database. To the respective client, the data is going to be provided. That's it. Finally, the data will be fetched from database. No, the database table, the data will be submitted back to what there SQL prompt from where we submitted that SQL query. Of course, in place of this SQL prompt, if we prepare any Java program, from Java program query will be submitted to the database. No, database engine will execute it. Then it will fetch the data. That fetch data will be given back to the Java program. That is nothing but JDBC. In place of SQL prompt, what we have to use there? Simply we have to use what there? A Java code. The Java code is nothing but Java program to interact with the database, to perform database operations. That is called as what there? JDBC. Sir, got it or not? Oh, right, sir. Now tell me. Now this is what exactly the process of like what there? Query processing system. Now here, what is query processing system in this overall scenario? Now tell me. This entire process is what there, this entire thing is called as what there, query processing system. This entire thing is called as what there, query processing system. That's it. Everybody has to understand this point clearly. All right, sir. Now I want to give this copy. Now try to answer for it now. It's okay, guys. Now I'm asking this question to you. Now try to answer for this question clearly. All right. Now I'm going to prepare the document here. Now we have to give the answers for this document. Now tell me what we submitted here. If we submit an SQL query to the database, where at the database an engine called database engine or database server will take the provided SQL query and it will execute the provided SQL query by using the following actions. Tell me what is the first action? No? What is the first action? Query tokenization. What did able to perform now in query tokenization? What we are able to do now? Come on. All right, sir. It is able to take the provided SQL query and it is able to divide. It is able to divide the provided SQL query into the number of tokens, into the number of tokens, and it will generate stream of tokens as an output from query tokenization phase. Stream of tokens from what there? Query tokenization phase. That's it. Now this is what exactly the meaning of what there? Query tokenization. Right, sir. Now tell me, what is the second one here? Now tell me. Come on, what second one here? We have to answer for it. Query parsing phase. What's the meaning of this query parsing here? Now tell me. All right, sir. It is able to check whether the provided whether the provided SQL query contains error or not, contains errors or not by creating a tree representation, by creating a tree called query tree, by creating a tree called what there, query tree. That's it. It is able to check whether the provided SQL query contains errors or not by creating a tree called query tree. Right, sir? Then what's that point here I'm telling there? Instead of that, okay, fine, no problem here. Then what is this point here I'm telling there? It is able to take all the tokens from query tokenization phase, and it is able to check and it is able to and it is able to check and it is able to check whether the provided SQL query contains errors or not by creating a tree called query tree. That's it, sir. Now there's a point here we can understand. Of course, I'm not providing the data. If query tree is successful, no error. If query tree is not successful, then there are some. Of course, if you want to write the content here, we can understand now. In this context, if the query token, if query parser is creating query tree successfully, then query tree successfully, then there are no errors. Then no errors are identified. No errors are available in the provided SQL query. Okay, the point is what there. All right, sir. In this context, if the query parser is creating query tree successfully, then the no errors are available in the provided SQL query. If the query tree is not successful, it is not successful. Then what next one is not successful? Then query parser will identify errors in the provided SQL query. In the provided SQL query. Understand the content here, what I have given there? Right, sir. It is able to take all the tokens from query tokenization phase, and it is able to check whether the provided SQL query contains errors or not by creating a tree called query tree. In this context, if the query parser is creating query tree successfully, then no errors are available in the provided SQL query. If the query tree is not successful, then query parser will identify some errors in the provided SQL query. Yes, sir. All of you are getting it or not? That's okay, fine. Now, point number 3. Now, what is this point number 3? Now, tell me. Come on. Query optimization. Query optimization is the punch here. Now, here, what we are able to provide now? It is able to take query tree from query parsing phase. It is able to take query tree from query parsing phase, and it is able to apply number of query optimization mechanisms over the query tree in order to reduce memory and execution time. That's it. Now that's the purpose of like what there, query optimization. Now it is able to take the query tree from query parsing phase, and it is able to apply number of query optimization mechanisms over the query tree in order to reduce memory and execution time. Now that's it. Next one is what is the last one, you know? Fourth one is what there? Query execution. Query execution. All right, sir. Then what is the point here I'm telling there? All right, sir. It is able to execute the provided SQL query, and it is able to perform the respective database operation by using an interpreter internally. That's it. Interpreters are available here to execute our queries there by using an interpreter internally that query is going to be executed. It is able to execute the provided SQL query, and it is able to perform the respective database operations by using an interpreter internally. That's it, guys. Now this is the total awareness here we can understand about this query parsing phase. What exactly the point here we are having there. Okay, right. So okay, no problem. That's sufficient. Right. So now this is the total awareness on like what there query processing system. Yes, sir. All of you are getting it or not? Okay, fine. Leave this point here. Next one, after completion of this, here I want to start JDBC definitions. JDBC definitions. Observe carefully. Now we are going to talk about what there JDBC definitions. All right, a few definitions here I want to provide. Now try to understand it clearly. Simple definitions only. Try to understand it now. But here itself, I'm telling to you, already given that point here. But again, I'm telling to you, this is database engine. It able to execute the query by following these many operations. Got it or not? Now we are submitting SQL query from SQL prompt. This is a normal approach. But what is JDBC in this particular situation? In place of this SQL prompt, in place of SQL prompt, if we take Java application, in place of this SQL prompt, if we take Java application, automatically that entire process, that entire environment is called as what their JDBC. And so my point or not, that entire environment is called as what their JDBC. So simple. Here in place of this, here we have taken what their Java application. Here database. From Java application to the database, we are connecting and we are performing database operations from Java application to the database. We are connecting from Java application to the database and we are performing database operations from Java applications. Then this process, this entire process is called as what their JDBC, not more than that. But multiple definitions are available. The definitions here we have to understand one by one clearly now. Right, sir? All of you observe carefully. I want to give some definitions to you. First definition I'm telling to you. Now try to understand this first definition here now. Very simple definition. JDBC is a step-by-step process. Tell me, sir, JDBC is what there is a step-by-step process. It can be used to interact with the database from Java application in order to perform database operations from Java applications. Tell me again, what exactly the definition here we are providing there? What exactly the point here I'm providing there? JDBC is a step-by-step process. It can be used to interact with the database from a Java application, from the Java applications, in order to perform database operations from Java applications. Nothing, sir. Same point. I given in a different. That means in a standard definition. Not more than that. Okay, fine. Next one, same concept only, same target. In order to perform database operations from Java applications only, even if we give 100 definitions for JDBC. Point is what there, we have to perform database operations from Java application, but different points are available. What are the various points here? We are going to understand. First one is what there, JDBC is a step-by-step process. It can be used to interact with the database from Java applications in order to perform database operations from Java applications. That's okay, fine. Next one is after understanding this, another definition here I'm telling you, try to understand this clearly. JDBC is a technology, not a programming language. JDBC is a technology, not a programming language. Clear? Then what it is able to do now? It can be used to connect with the database. It can be used to connect with the database from Java applications in order to perform database operations from the Java applications. Same definition. I said you already. Even though if I give 100 definitions for JDBC, final target is what there? Performing database operations from what? Java application. No SQL prompt, only Java program where a database. I want to connect with it. I want to perform database operations from what there? Java application. That's the final target. But another point what I've given there, JDBC is what there? Is a technology. JDBC is what there? Is a technology. JDBC is a technology, not a programming language. Immediately I got a question now. What is technology and what is programming language? When a thing is programming language, when a thing is a technology, that I want to know, that I want to understand clearly. Okay. Directly I'm telling to you, core Java is a programming language. C programming language. C++ programming language. Programming language is a startup one which provides new definitions, new syntaxes, new conventions. Everything is new. That is what their programming language. But what is a technology? What exactly the meaning of technology? Observe carefully. On the basis of this programming language, we are going to prepare a set of classes and interfaces, some library to prepare a separate type of applications. On the basis of this core Java, a separate set of classes and interfaces we prepared, some predefined library we prepared in order to execute or in order to prepare a separate type of applications. That library, whatever the library here we prepared to perform a separate set of operations, a separate type of applications, that separate library is called as what there? A technology. Yes, sir. All of you get my point or not? What I'm telling to you now. See, come again. What's the point here I'm telling there? Programming language is a startup one where all new definitions, all new syntaxes are defined, are provided. That startup one is called as what there? Is a programming language. From the programming language, a set of classes we are going to be prepared. The set of classes are used to prepare a separate type of applications. On the basis of core Java, a set of class and interface I prepared to prepare JDBC programs. Now here the set of predefined classes and interfaces are called as what there? A technology. That is what there? JDBC technology. Not only that, servlets is available. Then what is this servlets? No, servlet is a technology, not a programming language. JSP is available. JSP is a technology, not a programming language. EJBC is available. EJBC is a technology, not a programming language. Only core Java is a programming language. All the remaining things are what are technologies, not programming languages. JDBC, servlet, JSP, JSTL, and EJBs, and everything apart from this core Java. Apart from this core Java, everything is what are technologies only. Now tell me, what is this JDBC here? What I have to say now? JDBC is a technology, not a programming language. It can be used to connect with the databases from Java applications in order to perform database operations from what there? Java applications. Is that clear? All of you are getting clarity now? Clear. Definition number 3. This is somewhat difficult definition, but at the same time required definition in the real time. In general in JDBC, we are going to talk about this type of definitions only. Try to understand this clearly. What is the definition here I'm telling there? Everybody understand this? No. JDBC is an abstraction. JDBC is an abstraction. Even in our object orientation also, we are able to have the concept like what there? Abstraction. There we used to say the process of hiding unnecessary and visualize necessary, that is called as an abstraction. We used to say the definition, right? Am I right or not? A real abstraction we are going to understand here. Actually in core Java we have not seen the real abstraction, just only definition we understood and remaining concepts we understood. But real abstraction we are going to see in JDBC, not only in JDBC, from JDBC onwards. Even I'm going to prepare some application development applications, no? There we are going to see the real abstraction. I will show that exactly. That concept we are going to tell to the interviewer whenever we have a question from an interviewer like what there, what is an abstraction now. But anyway, first of all, understand it. JDBC is what there? Is an abstraction, provided by JDBC is an abstraction provided by the Sun Microsystems and implemented by all the database vendors and implemented by all the database vendors and implemented by all the database vendors in order to in order to in order to connect with the database from in order to connect with the database from Java applications in order to perform database operations from in order to perform database operations from the Java applications. Right, sir? Now please read out this definition here. JDBC is an abstraction provided by Sun Microsystems and it is implemented by all the by the database vendors, but it is implemented by the database vendors in order to connect with the database from Java applications and in order to interact with the in order to perform database operations from the Java applications. That's fine. Definition is clear. Now I want to give some explanation or try to understand it clearly. Okay. All of you understand it clearly. Simple example I'm telling to you. You're all learning Java, right? Try to put more concentration. You're all learning Java. Clear? Assume it, you are going to complete your core Java. Assume it, you have completed core Java. Might be today is the last class, for example. Tomorrow, no class for core Java. It's completed, for example. Example only. Already some people are smiling, right? So I'll give you ending point. Think about it. You are learning Java, right? In Java, content is more. At the same time, opportunity level is also be more. So you have to bear this. So you must have patience to complete our content here. Moreover, in my classes, maybe the bad reputation for my classes is what there more and more durations I'm going to take. Yeah, I know that. But my philosophy is different. I want to take more content. I want to deliver more content. So I want to take more classes. That's enough. I don't like to complete your core job batch within 1.5 month or 45 days or 2 months of time. No. Even my introductions are not going to be completed within the duration. I'm not going to start even whoops concepts within the time care. Even language fundamentals I'm taking up to the time care now. So don't expect like this in my classes now. But contentful, more content I have to discuss there. Why? Because if you're contentful, then you will not get any problems in the future. If you're not contentful, your future is going to be the problems. So because of that reason, even though might be you are not feeling good with my classes at present there, but when we are completing interviews, when we are getting job, by the time you may feel good by seeing some easiness in the companies now. Anyway, that's later on issue, but first of all, understand it now. Okay, core Java is completed. Then I want to give some assignment to everybody. Assignment in the sense, I want to create a platform. In that platform, every day I want to send one requirement. Platform in the sense, one software I'm going to create. In the software, that is what they're just posting the questions software and getting answers from the students. Like this, I'm preparing one software. In that software, just every day I want to prepare a question or some description or something else. I want to give some description in the form of a question. Then I'm asking to all the people to give their own programs. Program description I'm going to provide, but program implementation I'm asking from everybody. I don't want to create my program, but I'm giving only program description, documentation, program description. But I'm going to ask to everybody to send our programs for this particular description. Sir, understood my requirement? No, not understanding clearly. So I have a software. In the software, what I want to do, no? Okay, not even that software, sir. Google Docs we are accessing or not, our document. There I'm going to create one document, test document I'm going to create. In the test document, day wise, I want to post a question, program and its description I want to give. But I'm asking to everybody, as a reply to that, you can send our programs, prepare our programs, execute that programs, send that programs to the same document. In the same document, you can send the answers. Sir, if you're getting it or not? Like this, I'm giving some platform now. Now tell me here what I'm giving now. What I'm giving there? Myself, I'm giving only problem and it's a description. What we are doing now? Solution for that problem. Solution in the sense like what the program for that particular description. Am I right or not? How many problems I given now from my side? Only one problem. But how many solutions are coming? Is it one solution or multiple solutions now? Multiple solutions are coming. Am I right or not? Multiple solutions are coming here. That's okay, fine. Understand clearly. Whatever the program and its description I have given, that is called as an abstract. The problem and its description is what there? An abstract. Just it is in a document form only, an abstract only. It doesn't have implementation from my side. But I'm asking to all the people to provide your own solution. But how many solutions are coming? No, multiple solutions are coming. This is an implementation for the abstraction. Your solution, one person solution is one implementation. Another person provided program is what there? Another implementation. Another person provided program is what? Program is what there? Another implementation. Like this, how many implementations are available? Multiple implementations are coming. So I given only abstract, but for this abstract, you provided solutions or not? Sir, correct or not? So, like this, a set of abstracts I'm able to provide. The process of providing an abstract or a set of abstracts is called as an abstraction. I'm providing what there? An abstraction. But what we are providing there? You are providing, instead of saying solution, I want to say an implementation for the abstraction. You're providing what there? An implementation for the abstraction. Yes, sir. All of you are getting it or not? What is the meaning of abstraction and implementation part? No response, guys. Clear? All of you clear now? All right, sir. One more example I'm telling you. Now try to understand it clearly. Everybody, understand this example also. It's also be required here. Try to understand it clearly. All right, sir. For example, some franchises are available outside. Franchise. At least in our level, if you want to see, no, KFC, I think all of you might be aware about it, right? KFC chickens, right? No, no. Sir, why you are talking non-veg inside the class, no? So we are vegetarians, pure vegetarians, no? Pure non-veg, no? Pure vegetarian. Vegetarians are more dangerous than non-vegetarians, you know? Do you have any reason? I given already that reason previously. Okay, I can give some reason for it now. Try to understand it now. What vegetarians are able to take, no? Vegetables, right? Vegetables are coming from trees, right? Trees are giving oxygen to us or not? So vegetarians are killing oxygen. What non-vegetarians are doing? They are killing animals now. Am I right or not? What animals are doing? They are taking trees. That means trees and all, leaves and all. This is the food, right, for these animals, right? But the point is what we are killing animals. Those who are killing oxygen. So we are saving oxygen or not? Non-vegetarians are saving oxygen, but vegetarians are killing oxygen, right? So the most dangerous part is what? Vegetarians only, not non-vegetarians, right? Right, sir. Anyway, understand it clearly. So, okay, right. Okay, it's okay. Statement point of view, okay, but how many members are following that? No. But nowadays, as per the human being health point of view, vegetarians are very good. Vegetarians might be then are having long life, right? When compared with non-vegetarians now. See, because of this non-vegetarian, because of this non-veg related things only, people are having some kind of health issues like high blood pressure might be. Then this kind of problems are coming. It's okay, different. There's a depends on their habituation, food habituation. But nobody will stop non-veg, right? Even doctors are giving this kind of information that nobody will stop it, right? And leave it. That is fundamental right, sir. Fine, leave it. Now come for our example. KFC, might be you aware about it. Not even KFC, might be if we go in outside roads now, there we can see some tea points. Tea King or maybe what are other names there? Uh, some names you might be seeing. So all these are franchises only actually. Understand it now. T king, I know that. Then apart from T times, I know that. That is another one. Like this, small branches now. It's a matter of 2 lakhs or 1 lakh like this for the sake of getting the branches. But KFC, if you take no, nearly previously 1 crore, but at present it is a 4 crore franchise cost. Yeah, if you want to take that, if you want to put a stall, KFC stall, we have to deposit 4 crore as a franchise cost. Okay, understand? It's a goodwill. Just name for using name only. We have to consume. We have to provide more. Some rules and regulations are available. 1500 square feet, 15,000 square feet parking. We have to show that area space must be like what there 15,000 square feet again. 1500, 15,000. I forgot it actually. Then previously I seen that. That's anyway. Okay, leave it now. The point is what KFC people are giving, what KFC stall people are doing. Get my point or not? What KFC, original KFC franchise has given, what KFC stall people they are doing now. For example, myself, I want to put a KFC stall. Myself, I want to put a KFC stall. So KFC owner is there. Owner of the KFC is there. That means they are called as a franchise. KFC franchisor is available. But I want to take that franchise. Okay. I consult to the respect to franchise person there, and I had some discussion with him. Then finally I had some agreement. Finally, he has given permission to me and to put KFC stall. That's okay, fine. Then after that, what they have given now, if you want to put this KFC stall, they have given an abstract. In that abstract, all the rules and regulations are provided. That KFC abstract was provided. In that KFC abstract, they made some rules and regulations. All the rules and regulations are available in the KFC abstract. But how many stall owners are available? How many stalls are available for KFC? Multiple stalls are available. But each and every person is the consumer of that KFC. That means that stall owner of the KFC. They have given an abstraction for the KFC rules and regulations, but we have to follow them really. We have to follow that rules and regulations really. If they see that you must to take all the KFC products from KFC franchisor only, then we have to get the products from the KFC franchisor by paying some amounts. Sir, got my point or not? All the chicken items, not only chicken items, that gravy might be then whatever the gravy they are using for preparing that chicken items there, then definitely we have to buy it from what their franchisor only. That is rule number 1. Observe carefully. After completion of this, another rule is what there, that premises related thing. In surrounding of your stall, you should not have any other KFC within the distance of 1.5 kilometer surrounding. In the surface of 1.5 kilometer, no other KFC stall must be available. That physically we have to see that. We have to put a location. That location must not have any other KFC within 1.5 kilometer distance. No surface area. Understand it clearly. So by following all these rules, that means they are given a set of rules and regulations, but all the KFC stall people are following the rules and regulations or not? Physically, that is an abstraction, but we are implementing the rules and regulations. That abstraction was provided by KFC franchise, but that implementations are provided by all the stall owners. Understand the point here, what I'm telling you now. But how many franchises are available here? Only one franchise. But how many implementers are available? Multiple implementers are available. Similarly, JDBC is an abstraction, a set of rules and regulations, and more clearly, a set of interfaces. In Java, class, abstract class, interfaces are available now. JDBC is a set of interfaces. JDBC is what there is a set of interfaces, set of predefined interfaces, majorly interfaces, 99% interfaces, that 1% classes are available. JDBC is an abstraction, that is a set of interfaces provided by Sun Microsystems. Only interfaces are provided by Sun Microsystems. Interfaces are having what? Interfaces are having what? Only declarations. Am I right or not? Interfaces are having only abstract methods. Abstract methods in the sense no body. Only method declarations, only abstract methods, but implementations are not available. Sir, got it or not? Here also be KFC has given an abstraction where only interfaces, no implementation, but stall owners have to provide implementations for it. Similarly, Sun Microsystems has provided JDBC as an abstraction, that is only interfaces, and Sun Microsystems has given an option to all the database vendors to provide your own implementations. Sun Microsystems has given an option to all the database vendors to provide your own implementations. That's why I've given the point is JDBC is an abstraction provided by Sun Microsystems and it is implemented by the database vendors in order to, and it is implemented by what there, whom, who has implemented this one here? Database vendors. The database vendors have to implement that. So by following the rules and regulations of the abstraction, they have implemented it in order to connect with the database from Java applications and in order to perform database operations from the Java applications. Is it? All of you are getting clarity or not? So these are the three definitions I have given for JDBC. Tell me guys, come again. What are the three definitions I have given? This point is important, no? Now try to understand it. People may ask you, tell me what is JDBC, no? There we have to give all the answers here. 3 points are given there. What are the 3 points? No. JDBC is what their step-by-step process. We are going to see the step-by-step process also clearly in the future. JDBC is a step-by-step process. It can be used to interact with the database from Java applications in order to perform database operations from Java applications. Next one is what there? JDBC is a technology, not a programming language. It can be used to connect with the database from Java applications in order to perform database operations from Java applications. Next one is what there? JDBC is an abstraction provided by Sun Microsystems and it is implemented by the database vendors in order to connect with the database from Java applications and in order to perform database operations from the Java applications. Is that clear? Now these are the three definitions here we have to understand. All right, sir. Now I'm asking one point. Can you try to understand this clearly? After understanding the definitions, what we are going to do inside the JDBC programs? Inside the JDBC, what we are going to do actually? Understand it here? What I'm telling there, one point here I'm telling you, try to understand it. In general, in JDBC applications, observe carefully. In general, in JDBC applications, we will prepare database logic. We will prepare database logic in the sense SQL queries. Simply speaking, what there? SQL queries. We'll prepare database logic. Simply speaking, SQL queries in Java applications. We will prepare database logic SQL queries in Java applications. We will send the provided SQL queries to the database engine. We will send the provided database logic, not even SQL queries I'm telling there. Database logic to the database, where at a database, where a database database engine is available or not? Database engine will execute the provided SQL query, where a database engine will execute the provided SQL query and the database engine will perform the required database operation and the database engine will send the generated results back to the Java application. Generated results to the Java applications. That's it, guys. Now this is what exactly the work we are going to do inside what there JDBC. Tell me, sir, come again. What is the point here I'm telling to you? In general, in JDBC applications, we'll prepare a database logic in Java applications. We will send the provided database logic to the database, where a database engine will execute the provided SQL queries, and the database engine will perform the required database operations, and the database engine will send the generated results to the Java application. This is what exactly the work is going to be happen inside the JDBC. That means what I am telling to you, for example, if we take Java code here, in place of this SQL prompt, if we take Java program, inside the Java program, we have tried SQL queries. From here, we have to send queries to the database. Database has to perform the process. It has to fetch the data. That fetched data has to be given back to the Java program. This is going to be happen in the case of like what there Java application. All of you are getting it or not? But I have a question now. Try to understand this question, everybody. Everybody, understand my point clearly. In the above JDBC process, in the above JDBC process, we will provide a database logic at Java application as per Java representations. In Java applications, we'll provide database logic as per what their Java representations. The database logic is as per what representation? No, Java representations only. So, for example, select a star from EMP when we provide it, that must be represented in the form of string. The string is what their Java. Is that right or not? That query is the same SQL query only, but that is provided in the form of what their double quotations. Double quotations are what their string. That is string is what their Java representation. Right or not? But a database, what is required? No, normal query we required, not string. Query we required. Difference we can understand. At Java, string query is a string, but at database, no, normal query, not a string. Understand my point? Okay, fine. We will provide database logic at Java applications as per the Java representations, and if we submit Java represented database logic to the database engine, and if we submit the Java represented database logic to the database engine, then are their database engine will not execute the provided database logic. Come again, what's the point I'm telling you? This is a crucial point here. We have to understand this now. In the above JDBC process, we will provide database logic at Java applications as per Java representations, and if we submit Java represented database logic to the database engine, their database engine will not execute the provided database logic. Why? Because the provided database logic is available. Provided database logic is available in Java representations. The provided database logic is available in what their Java representations, but the database engine required the database logic in query languages representation, or instead of saying this query language representation, in the database representations. Database representations are nothing but what their query languages representations only. Got or not? Simple point. JVM can understand Java representations. Database engine can understand only what their query languages representations. Java and query language representation both are different. Unfortunate thing is what their Java JVM is unable to understand query languages. Database engine is unable to understand what their Java. The communication gap is available or not? Understand it now clearly. Communication gap is available or not? Exactly. Here communication gap is available. So to solve this communication gap, to provide solution for it, then what we have to do? I'll show in a diagrammatic way, but actually due to the lack of the time, I'm not preparing diagram now. But situation I'm providing that I try to understand it now. So one person is Java JVM, another person is a database person there. Java person doesn't know about like what the database representations. Database person is not aware about what their Java representation. But both of them must have some communication. Why? Because from Java we have to send some data to the database. The database has to execute it. It has to provide some results now. So if you want to get this process smoothly, first both the persons must have good communication. But both are not aware about their opposite languages now. Both are not aware about their opposite languages. No? Then what we have to do there in this particular scenario? Now exactly now tell me, in this particular scenario, we need a mediator or not? We need what there? A mediator or not? Say for example, Tamil person and Marathi person, both of them wants to have conversation. But Tamil person not aware about Marathi person is not aware about Tamil. But both needs to have some communication. Then between Tamil and Marathi, They require Telugu person or not? No? Between Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra, who are available, sir? AP and Telangana, right? Telugu persons are required or not? Definitely, right? Okay, not even Telugu person here, but some translator is required or not? Translator is required or not? What is the job of the translator now? Tell me. Job of the translator is what? What is the job of the translator? The translator must listen Tamil conversation. He has to convert the Tamil conversation to what their Marathi conversation. That Marathi conversation will be provided to Marathi person. When Marathi person is giving information there, that Marathi conversation must be taken by this translator, converting that Marathi conversation to what their Tamil conversation and passing the Tamil conversation to Tamil person here. So this is a job of this particular person. Here also be between JVM and database engine, one mediator is required or not? That mediator has to listen Java representation, has to map the Java representation to database representations and sending the database representations to database engine. Again, what database engine has given the results now in a database representation, that mediator has to take that database representations and he has to map that database representations to Java representations and he has to provide the Java representations to the Java program. Like this here, we require some mediator or not? Exactly. That mediators are available nowadays now. That mediator is called a driver. That mediator is called as what there? A driver. JDBC driver. Understand? Exactly the point about the driver now. Before this driver, of course, as you are the Java developer, we require that database now. Understand my point again? Okay, driver we required. For example, here. When we require this driver, who has to provide the driver? From where we have to get the driver? Myself is a JDBC application developer. I want to connect with the database from Java application. So I need a driver between Java application and database. I need a driver. Okay, how I'm going to get the driver? From where I have to get this driver? Understand my point here? From where I have to get this driver? That's the question now. Then first of all, we are the Java developer. We are connecting with the database. Once you are the Java developer, we are the customers to the Sun Microsystems or not? As you are the Java developer, always we have to request to the Sun Microsystems or not? Okay, then I may send a request mail to the Sun Microsystems. No. Now please provide one driver to connect with Oracle database. No. Okay, then if I'm using MySQL database, no, I'll ask to the Sun Microsystem, please provide one driver to connect with the MySQL database. Sir, got it or not? Like this, I have to request to the Sun Microsystems to provide a driver to connect with a particular database. Assume it, Sun Microsystems has given all the drivers. For Oracle, one driver, for MySQL, another driver, for DB2, another driver, for Sybase, another driver, like different drivers are provided by Sun Microsystems, for example. But who is getting indirect benefit now? Understand it now? Of course, developers are getting that environment, he able to interact with the database, but because of these drivers provided by Sun Microsystems, automatically database vendors are getting more customers or not? They're increasing their customers list or not? Understand, sir, what I'm telling you now? See, what Oracle people are doing in this overall game now? Developer, Sun Microsystems, we are playing the game, but the database vendor just is watching and enjoying the game or not? Nothing is going to be happening to this database vendor. Moreover, number of customers are increased. Sun Microsystems are given a driver to connect with Oracle database, no, but no effort from Oracle database vendor, but getting benefit to what their Oracle database vendor. Why? Because when driver is provided by Sun Microsystems, automatically every JDBC application developer wants to interact with Oracle database or not. As this Oracle driver is available, which is provided by Sun Microsystems, then who is getting benefit? No, database vendor, Oracle vendor is getting benefit. So in this overall process, Oracle vendor, that means database vendors are getting more benefit. But how long this kind of solution that Sun Microsystems is providing now? As of now, 10 databases are available. They are given 10 databases. Okay, tomorrow if new database is coming, I want to use that new database. Immediately I will send a mail to Sun Microsystem or not. Another new database is coming. Please provide one driver. But how long that Sun Microsystem is going to give the drivers now? How long Sun Microsystems is providing the drivers now? Right, exactly. In this particular situation, Sun Microsystems analyze this total process, understood that effort is coming from Sun Microsystems, but benefit is going to the database vendors, no? So we want to reduce this process. We want to bring the database vendors into the game. The Sun Microsystems wants to bring the database vendors into the game. Then simply what Sun Microsystems has done there, simply Sun Microsystems has provided driver as an interface, not in a class. Interface in the sense? Only interfaces. Interface in the sense only abstract methods, no implementations, and given a public notification to all the database vendors. I have given JDBC, I have given driver as an interface, not as a class. As you want to increase your customers for your database, no, try to prepare your own implementation class for this driver. I have given only driver as an interface with only abstract methods, declarations only. But if you want to have JDBC customers, then you should take the responsibility of providing your own implementation to interact with your database. Then immediately what happened there? The next minute of breaking news, right? What breaking news there? Every database vendor must provide implementation for the driver. Otherwise, customers will not come to their database. No. JDBC application developer will search for other databases. If any database is not giving JDBC support, no, customers will search for the database which has the JDBC support. Then as per that content, and every database vendor have prepared their own implementation for the driver interface. So here the concept is what there, driver is an interface provided by Sun Microsystems and implemented by all the database vendors. Now that implementations are used by JDBC application developers to connect with that database from our Java application. If you understand this overall conversation, no, JDBC is nothing. JDBC is simple. But people are not understanding this conversation because of due to the lack of this point only, people are getting confusion about JDBC. Nothing, sir. If you understand perfectly this one, it's a matter of 10 days to complete your JDBC. I can finish it. If you require really that within 10 days, I can finish it. Okay, wait and see what I'm going to do now. That's all for today, right? I'll see the remaining part tomorrow. Thank you. If driver is not there, what about your application? Huh? How it will have conversation with the database? No.